friends, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead, and today we're going to make one of my husband's summertime absolute all-time favorites. We're going to make something called chocolate zucchini bread. Now folks, I know that zucchini and chocolate don't necessarily go together, but wait until you try it. You will never eat normal zucchini bread again. Now what we're going to need first, well, let me go over the list of ingredients while I grate the zucchini. We're going to need 4 cups of grated zucchini. And if I can move my cup of tea here, you're going to need 1 pound of butter, or 2 cups of your favorite cooking oil, or even a half a pound of butter and 1 cup of your favorite cooking oil. Now this makes 2 loaves, okay? Like 2 bread loaves. Then you're going to need 1 cup of brown sugar packed, 4 fresh eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1 cup sour milk, sour cream, or yogurt, plain yogurt, 5 cups flour, your choice. Sometimes I do half and half, whole wheat and unbleached, but today it's just unbleached. 1/3 of a cup of cocoa. No, sorry. Yeah, 1/3 of a cup of cocoa. Ow, watch your fingers, folks. 1 teaspoon baking soda, 2 teaspoons baking powder, 1 teaspoon sea salt, 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. Now, once you've eaten this, folks, excuse me, you may never go back to just zucchini bread, but chocolate cake will never be the same. I don't know about anybody else, but I find the healthier I eat, the less regular foods that I used to like appeal to me. For instance, I used to love chocolate cake with chocolate icing. To me, that's too sweet and not enough substance. This is rich and chocolatey and healthy, and I'm telling you folks, my friend Lynn, who first sold me my very first goats, when she told me about chocolate zucchini bread, I thought, no, you're not going to make me eat that. But she gave me a piece with a cup of tea, and the next thing you know, I was writing down the recipe. Of course, I've tweaked it to, be a Mrs. Wolfie recipe, but Okay, so there's our 4 cups of chocolate zucchini, there's our 4 cups of grated zucchini. This is a 4-cup measure, so I'm going to say that's about right, maybe a little bit more. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take, I've got to be careful, I got stuff all over the place here. We're going to take 1 pound of butter, and when I say sour cream, folks, if you don't have sour cream or sour milk, but you have milk or cream in your fridge, add a little bit of lemon juice to it, like a half a teaspoon. That will do it. Okay, there's our pound of butter. Here's our 1 cup of brown sugar packed. We have our 4 fresh eggs, and I mean fresh. You know me, folks. If for some reason my hens weren't laying, I'd go to the farm down the road, where I personally know her chickens. So they have a yard, they go out and scratch. There we go. 4 fresh eggs. Now we are going to beat this, and I'm sorry folks, I should have beaten the butter and the sugar together first, but I got all excited because I'm reading a recipe, and you know me folks, I'm not very good with recipes, but I only make this once a year as my excuse, so I need the recipe. So here we go. We're going to beat this up. I'm sure it'll be just fine. And of course your butter has to be softened. Now normally I would have creamed the butter and the sugar together, and yes, I put the vanilla in. I can smell it. Okay. Now we have, now we're going to add the dry ingredients, but first we're going to take our flour and we're going to add our teaspoon of salt. Then we're going to add our teaspoon of baking soda. Then we're going to add our 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And I always rub this together because it has a tendency to clump. Now you can sift it if you want, but I'm just going to stir it in. Oh, and we need our 2/3 of a cup of cocoa. Now, this is where the part comes in where I don't measure, folks. 2, 3, 4, 5. What the hell? Heck, sorry, what the heck. There's our 2/3 of a cup of cocoa. We're hoping. And we're just going to stir this in a little bit. Now the zucchini and the chocolate chips go in last. Alright, so let's just start slowly beating this in. The chocolate chips are supposed to be semi-sweet. But Howie, of course, being the man that he is, he bought chocolate chips. Or milk chocolate chips. Now we're going to alternate our dry with our sour cream. Or our sour milk. This happens to be coffee cream. I'm going to get some more cocoa because I don't think that's 2/3 of a cup. Just so happens I always keep a nice supply of nice dark cocoa on hand. Now there's another 1/3 of a cup. Yes, I know I put the cocoa in on top, but let's get rid of some of this stuff over here that we don't need in our face. Because all we need now is the zucchini, the rest of the flour, and the chocolate chips. This is a much darker cocoa too. Now you want your flour and your cream and everything all blended. So I'm going to take this mixer off because it is just, I'm going to have to mix it by hand from here on out. Okay. This is really heavy. It's almost a dough rather than a batter. And that's because of the butter. We may have to add just a little bit more milk. We'll see. Yeah, there's some flour at the bottom. Let's add a little bit more milk. Or, we'll start adding the zucchini because there's a lot of moisture in zucchini. And this is going to loosen this batter up from a dough back into a batter. See if this works. You want your batter really thick because your zucchini has so much water in it. This zucchini, by the way, practically grew overnight when we got that rain. There we go. That resembles batter more now. Now this calls for 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. We're going to put milk chocolate in. Yeah, that's about 1 cup. Half a bag. Okay, I'll be back. I've got to butter and flour my bread pan, and then I'll be back. Okay, now we've preheated our oven at 325 degrees. And this pan actually may not be big enough. This is one of my long bread pans. Yeah, this is gonna be a really big cake. There we go. Now we're gonna put this in a 325 degree oven for 1 hour. And then when we come back, I'm going to show you the best chocolate treat you will ever eat. Alright, we'll be back in an hour. There it is, folks. Chocolate zucchini bread. Oh my God. Wait till Wolfie gets home. We will be back when he gets a slice of this because I'm not cutting this open without him. All right, we'll see you then. All right, Daddy, here's your chocolate. Chocolate zucchini bread, Daddy's favorite summer thing. There you go, folks. Look at that. Isn't that just marvelously? Let's see if we can turn it to the light. How dark and rich that is. Anyway, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead saying, this is taking zucchini to a whole new level. Later.